So we've got a mover this morning, GCTK. This was on our watch list. So anyone who's in the Discord, you get that watch list. I added that to Benzinga as well. So GCTK was on both the early bird watch as well as the daily watch. And the reason for it had a lot of volume in the post market. So let's go over this chart. GCTK had a major resistance all the way up here at 268. And the reason I know that is because I have these levels marked out before this move happened. Now we know in the aftermarket, we can see over here, it looks a little crazy, but in the aftermarket, we hit a high of 265. So 3 cents shy of the 268. So in order for this to really be bullish, I wanted to see GCTK over that resistance level. And the resistance level was 268, which is right here. So if you see that level, that's the level I was watching for it to be really bullish. So of course, any of these moves could have been traded, but they're not really bullish momentum in my opinion, because we've already filled these gaps, right? And it's a cheapo, it's a pretty cheap stock. Now, these pink candles that you see here are major red candles. So that's something that I look for before I get into my trades to really give me an indication if this is going to be a high quality setup, a low quality setup, or if I'm going to avoid the trade altogether. So as we can see here, we went up. We started the day, we opened up here, right? We closed below. It was a major red. So we're not looking at this as a confirmation. Well, it came over here, never closed above. This is the first candle that closed above. So we had a predetermined level at 151. Now, again, this is not bullish momentum, and this is not the type of trade that I like to take typically, because it could go the other way as it's already filled a lot of these gaps before, right? So the momentum and the gaps have filled, and so therefore me being a gap trader, it's a little higher risk, and so sometimes I may avoid that. Now, we had a predetermined level at 136, and sure enough, the low was 136. Now, if I were to buy there, that would be, I consider that anticipation trading. And I'm not looking to take anticipation trades because, again, in this type of market, it can go against you. Now, if we're in a bullish market, that may be a different story. So this area right here may be bullish in a bullish market, but an anticipation trade is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for confirmation. Yes, this is confirmation. No, it's not a bullish confirmation or a bullish momentum type of confirmation. But we can see it worked out regardless. So closed above, get in using this as our level as support. It held that level, never closed back below, hit target immediately after. So it's not a huge gap, right? But you can get yourself a quick scalp and then hold yourself a lotto in case you feel there's continuation. And it's about 7% there if you can get that whole gap. Now, of course, you're not going to get it filled totally. So more of like a 4 to 5% gap. So you get 4 or 5% scalp and then hold yourself a lotto from there. Now, we can see this candle closed up here. And right now you can see that they're white and yellow candles. And that's really just a volume indicator that I have built for my trading. But I'll go ahead and turn that off now so you guys can understand and see what I'm seeing. So major reds, green close above. That's confirmation, but not bullish because we've already filled the gaps. Closed above here. We continued to hit targets. So that's a scale point there, scale out or hold, and then just move your stop as it moves up in price. As it closed above this level, we then want this level to hold as support, and it did. So 161, 162, within 1 minute, the trade hit its target, right? And it hit it dead on, and we see this indication here. I'll zoom in. You guys can see that is a bullish vertical trend. So again, it's one of these conditions I look for before getting into my trades. So if I knew that this was a bullish vertical trend and it closed above that level, well, maybe I'm being a little bit more reserved on my order size because I know those conditions. So assessing these conditions first. So we can see over here, it did not close back below this level. So it's still holding this support, but it needs to close over this level now to consider this bullish. And again, it's not going to be bullish momentum until it gets over that 268. So we're at 190 and 188 levels here. Held this level 162, filled this gap. This is another gap filled. So we go ahead and measure that move. Again, that's a 16% gap. So this is a more favorable gap right here, right? So I can understand traders taking this type of gap maybe over this one because, again, this is a more favorable gap. Doesn't mean we're going to get it closed because, again, it's already closed that gap before. So the probability is a little bit less than it could be, but it means that the gap is a little bit more favorable to us as the trader. Right? So we came over here, we hit a resistance, but we closed above that resistance. And this is important because we now look at this resistance as support. So we look at it to buy into the close above. And if it dips down, we can average down, but it has to stay above that level. Close below, that's when I bail. So we closed above this level. You can see it held. And within 1 minute, we hit this purple line. That's a target. This white line, that's a target. White line, target, purple line, target. right? And these are all predetermined levels that were in our Discord before this move happened. So I have all of these mark charts are available to anyone in our Discord community. So GCTK then closed above this level, and we had a hit target the very next candle. So yes, this looks like a messy little move here, but the idea again is it closes above this level, needs to hold, and this level is then target. Well, it closed above, never closed below, hit target, then we closed below, right? So we hit our target, scale out, hold your lotto, get stopped out, right? So then it came back down, closed below. We're looking for a close above that purple line and purple level to consider this bullish, but not, again, not bullish momentum, right? 268 is the level we want to be fixated on. Closed above this level, held, did not close back below. And if I hover over this, you can see in the top hand corner, you can see the low of each candle as I hover over those. This is a low of $2.10. We had a level at $2.10. So it closed above that 210 level. It offered the add into the 210 as a really tight entry in case it went against us. And sure enough, it popped in within, let's see, 1, 2, 3 minutes after that trade, you're green on the trade, right? So it hit its target. We're green. We're good to go. Scale out, hold a lotto in case you feel there's going to be continuation. Well, there was. Closed above this level. And it doesn't look like it did, but it did. And this is an engulfing candle for the most part. And we can see it close at 227. We had a level at 226. So maybe I'd be a little reserved there. Again, these levels have already filled. So we're being tight with our entries and tight with our stops. Hit target, very next minute. We can see it closed above, held, hit target, hit target, hit target. So 1 minute, we hit 3 targets, all predetermined levels to take out profits. Next candle, we can see just ripped up, hit that target. And now this is where it gets interesting. And this is what I wanted to really show everyone, especially in our Discord, because I mentioned in the morning that the 268 level is the most bullish level that we needed to close over and hold to see this continuation. And what we see here is we did close above this level on this candle, but it wasn't exactly bullish engulfing. We had a topping tail, but what's more important is this is a bullish vertical trend. And we can see leading up into this resistance, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles. And I consider 5 or more to be a bullish vertical trend. We also have the bullish vertical trend in the percentage. So I have 2 different variations of this, and you can see it's also a bullish vertical trend on the percentage as well. So it was up too much percentage in the last basically 3 minutes or less. And because of that, this is a red flag for me, right? And that's why it plots this on here. And these, again, are indicators that are specific to our strategy. So we closed above, yes, but I would not consider that a true confirmation or a high quality setup. And why? Because it had a bullish vertical trend, and we were well aware of that type of move. So maybe wait for a little breather and a cool off and look for the next opportunity. Well, we had that little breather here with this major red candle, a negative 6.5% candle, which is nasty, but not the first one we've seen. So we are aware that these could happen. Well, then held this level of 246 and 250 being the mental $0.50. It held that level and continued to grind, closed over our predetermined level of 268, which was the important level, held this level, was not a bullish vertical trend. We can see we had that red candle as our breather, closed above, held, hit target, next minute, 1, 2, 3 targets in 3 minutes, right? And we can see now we have these candles here. And let me measure this move. So from the bottom of this candle to the top of this candle, I'm seeing about 31%, which again is why we have a red candle there. This is a bullish vertical trend on the percentage. So again, it's a red flag to let us know, hey, yes, it just smashed through all these levels, but it did it on a bullish vertical trend. So it's a red flag. Do you want to throw the kitchen sink at it? Do you want to take the trade? Do you want to avoid? Really, it's up to you. So we can see it had that major red there, close back below. So now we know that this is the level that it got up to. So we want to see it close over this level to deem this as bullish. We came over here. We had a wick, false breakout. We had another wick, which filled the gap, which is very important, but it was a false breakout. So we did not get our close back over that predetermined level of 319. And because of that false breakout, we avoided that major loss because we're looking for a confirmation, a close over this level, right? So 331, the gap had filled. And so because this gap had filled, now the level that we consider bullish is now going to be that next level, that 331. So we're going to move up our level to 331 for watching, right? We come over here and we can see that we finally closed over that 331 level right here. And excuse me, I thought it was here, but I was wrong. So we closed above here. We came back down. We had some choppiness, right? We got a nice clean close over, a bullish vertical trend, a major red, right? All this makes sense. And it's understandable what's happening here. But this is what's important. This was our first close over our new level and predetermined level, which was the high was 331, right? We closed above this level in this candle here. We did not close back below. And sure enough, 2 minutes later, we hit 1, 2, and almost 3 targets. Okay, so within about 2 minutes, maybe less. And then we had this nasty major red, which is worth noting. It did not close under our predetermined level. So you could add into that if you're still in the position to lower your cost base from here. And then once it closes below on this candle, that's when we bail, right? And if you missed that candle, of course, this candle closed below. This one closed above. So that's what we're looking for. A candle to close above to hold that level. If it closes below, that's when we bail, right? Confirmation, very simple, but hard for some to execute in real time. So these levels here, 265, 267, 374, 379, 390, $4, 403. I sound like a broken record, right? This is a cluster of resistance. So this level that we see at the top, and let me draw that out. So this level that we see up here is now a cluster of resistance, right? Let me shade it in here so everyone knows that it is a cluster of resistance. So this area here, yes, it's worth watching. And yes, it's a possible move from the 380 to 390 or the 390 to 4 or 403. But what we know is that there's a lot of bags in this area. That's what that cluster of resistance is telling us. And that's another one of those major red flags that we look for before entering our trade. So yes, I could take the trade if it closes over the predetermined level of 367 or 365, because we can see we have not closed over those levels yet. So we have not confirmed those levels. So the first close over 367, yes, it is worth watching. And yes, there's a possible trade to be had there, but we did fill the gap over here. So we want to be a little wary of that. And we do have a cluster of resistance. So that's basically the breakdown on ticker GCTK today. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.